Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to the Musto stand and a huge warm welcome to Zara Tindall. Hey.
Hi, Al.
Quite relaxed. I don't normally see you on Saturday morning at Burghley looking quite so sort of with the mascara on, totally relaxed.
No, this is very unique for me. Normally, I will have just done my last cross-country walk, figuring out our final plans for where we're going to go, what route we're going to take, just getting it all in our brains so it's second nature when we're out there. So I feel very happy to be relaxed and not thinking about that and talking to you.
What will the vibe be like? I know you've been down in the stables, you've caught up with Piggy, you've caught up with Harry and the guys who are going to tackle this track. How's the vibe down there?
I think, there's those kind of nerves. Pig is a little bit nervous this morning, but she's only had this horse for a year. So normally we spend years building up a relationship with horses to bring them here, and Piggy's horse she's only had for a year from Pippa, so it's a big ask for her and the horse to go out and tackle this today. So she's understandably a little bit nervous about it all. Ollie was doing his last walk when I was out there. He's very happy. Just want to get on with it. He's got a long wait though. He's got to wait till 3:00 or something. So that's always a factor as well. Is sitting and watching for that long always gets a bit makes you more nervous. You try and keep yourself occupied. Not think too much. Go and take yourself for a little sleep. But I think the vibe is nerves, but kind of everyone wants to get going now, and it's final preparations, and you can't do anything until you get on your horse and get out there. It's so much better when you're sat on board and warming up, and then it's like, okay, action.
For you, it must be extraordinary because you have a busy schedule with brands and getting out there and doing all your stuff. You've got 3 babes. You've got a husband that wants to know where you're at and what you're doing. You've got your groom. You've got your horses.
Doesn't really.
So, how does your Saturday morning look in a competition? I mean, are you making breakfast and pancakes for the kids in the lorry and then sorting out the girls and then walking the course? Or do you say, right, Tins, take the lot away. This is my time.
There's been a couple of times where I'm like, okay, right, this is what I'm doing this morning. I'm going to go and ride my horse, and then I'm going for a course walk. Anyway, one year he disappeared off to the loo and didn't come back for about half an hour, and I'm like, seriously, I need to go. And the kids, I'd fed them breakfast by this stage, so I don't know what he was doing. Well, I'm sure you guys do know what he's doing. I try and just go and do my thing and, focus on myself. And I'm like, you guys go separate. Last year, they stayed with friends of ours, so it was perfect. I could just do my own thing. But it's very much trying to, keep in your own lane and get done what you need to do, and let all the crazy happen around you. I try and organise stuff so they're not needing me at all.
Yeah. It must help, though. Obviously, Mike, he's a Rugby World Cup winner. He's an elite athlete himself. His understanding, I mean, the fact that both of you, you've competed at Olympic Games, you're a world and European champion, and the fact that he's been at high-end sport must help. I mean, he must have an understanding of what you need around you and how that space needs to be for you to perform in the extraordinary ways we've seen you do.
Yeah, I think also eventing is very different in that respect, is that it is a family and you're living this life with the horses and your team, and it's a very much a team effort, and everyone comes along for the ride, don't they? I mean, you know this with William, and so in that respect, we're probably quite different. We're very capable of going out and doing something crazy like that out there, and then literally coming straight back to kids, back to organising the horse. Essentially, we are manager, trainer, rider. Performance. So we do it all with the horse. But he's also when it's been a bad day, he's very pragmatic. He's very like, you know what, there's another day. There's always comments, that sometimes I'm like, oh, actually didn't need to say that. Or, he is very, he knows the sport very well now, and knows how I like to do it. And, so it works well.
And we talk about risk, and we talk about, this sport being, a big risk. It's a calculated risk. You're highly trained. But for you in your life and growing up, how important has the horse been and that relationship with the horse been in terms of where it's taken you and almost how much normality it's given you?
Absolutely. I think for me, it was very much, I absolutely loved horses growing up, and I didn't really think that I could do a career in it, but at the beginning you start out and you're like, okay, my parents are like, you're gonna have to work hard and you're gonna have to make it happen. You have to be consistent, unless you're gonna do that, it's not gonna work.
I don't get the feeling that your mum would be like saying well done when you hadn't done well done.
No, she's much better than my dad.
Oh, is she?
Yeah. She's like, much more good job, whereas my dad was like, well, it's okay. I'm like, very, very hard to get a compliment out of. So when you do get a compliment, I was like, yes. I'm like,
and what about your granny? Because, she was so passionate about the horse. I mean, she was almost kept this kind of little girl naivety around the horses.
Oh, my God.
And her pride in you and what you succeeded must have just been amazing.
Yeah, and I think that definitely, our family and that love of the horse has definitely come from her and her mother. The passion, the partnership, we all learned through her, and that's why we love being in the sport. I love being in the sport is the actual how you manage to create a partnership with a horse and train them. They're your best friend, but they're also your athlete. You do everything with them so that you make sure you know each other inside out, and they keep you very grounded. There's way more lows than there is highs. So as well as, being a sport, it's an incredible lifestyle to bring kids up in, learning respect and hard work, dedication. And yeah, it's all been funneled down through the family. And, I love, even if my kids don't love it as much as I did, they have respect and know how to look after a horse. They have that relationship, they have that partnership, and it's a great way of discipline and motivation, all those incredible things that kind of keep us on the straight and narrow. Straight and narrow.
I mean, it's really interesting. We were talking about this at home the other day, like everyone say, oh, do you want your children to do what your husband does? I'm like, no, but I want them to learn to win gracefully, lose with dignity, have to get up in the morning, have something that needs you more than you need it, and that learning those life skills through what the horses give us, and also putting yourself outside your comfort zone and facing risk, which is so important.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think like now I learn so much, like teaching the children to do stuff with the horses. Like obviously I've been there and done that, and I remember my parents like in my ear, and so I'm trying not to be too like my parents, but then I obviously have the experience, so it's so hard actually finding that balance where you don't push them too hard, but you're making sure that you get the right values from it. And like Mia, our eldest, said to me the other day, and I was like, please can you do this? She's like, look, it doesn't need to be perfect. And I went, no, but can you just do it properly? So yeah, there's this constant pushback, which is natural, and still, I'm still learning at my age. So it's important to push back, and you're always learning. There's something new. There's a horse with a different character. There's a different way of training it. There's a different way of getting the best out of it of a competition, and you never stop learning. That's the best thing about it.
And of course, we're here at Musto, a brand that you've been associated with for so long. But as a mum, and the only woman who's had 3 children and come back to 5-star level, I keep on that. It is just an extraordinary achievement to... Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
I think so.
All crazy.
I mean, I've had 4 children, and I've spent most of my time eating toast and honey on the flipping sofa. The idea of having a 3rd child and trying to fit my stomach into a pair of jodhpurs, let alone...
I mean, mine doesn't. But.
yeet myself around here. But the thing about Musto, and I know with you is you're wanging off to the school run, then you're coming back and you're teaching, and then you're jumping on a horse and you're going racing and you roll at Cheltenham. This is a brand that you know it doesn't matter what the weather is, what situation is, you're going to smash it.
Well, it's absolutely grown up with Musto, and they've been incredible support in my career and our lifestyle as well. They've got something for everyone, something for every occasion. It's just incredibly versatile, and you just on the money all the time. New innovations and fabrics and technical abilities.
Do you get involved with that? Are you involved at all with?
No, not anymore. We did a bit of a line years ago now. We did a bit then, and it's so difficult how far in advance you have to plan. And that, or can we use that fabric? And actually no, that doesn't really work. That's not going to.
Did that give you a bit of an insight into just how technical these...
And also, so technical, but also there's such an expense, and everything is thought of so far ahead. But also, I loved seeing the part where I was like, well, actually, I need a bit more room there if you're riding, or more cover. It was really interesting to learn, but they are incredible at what they do, and it's phenomenal to be a part of it. It's an amazing brand, and it works so well.
I mean, that's the point, isn't it? That a bit like what you were talking about with in terms of preparing the horses and the guys down here, attention to detail is the marginal gain. And that's where you got with Musto. It's years of listening to you and William and all these guys to say, what do we actually need when we're out in all weathers riding horses? What do we need as an athlete? And listening, and then keep on developing and changing. So you actually come in and you're not soaking wet, and you can get on with the next job because you don't have to have 55 changes of clothes in the day.
I think also, especially in this country, working in the weather is a task as it is, but also, being able to perform in it, not getting too hot, keeping everything working and dry, and movable. It's such a task to be able to do it all and not have to, as you said, change 50 million times. You want to be on one, get on another one, and it needs to work well, and it needs to work with all of us.
And for you, Burghley, I mean, I remember little fresh-faced Zara turning up at Burghley, your first Burghley, and finishing second.
Completely naive.
You finished second.
I love that feeling, though.
Yeah.
Of your first time. I'm never going to have it again. It's so amazing because you're just like, whatever, I'm just here, and you're so keen to be there. It's amazing to have a horse to even come here. But just that not knowing is incredible, because you just go out and do your thing. Whereas the more you come here, like, oh, that happened to me last year there, or oh, that happened, with something else. And it just becomes like, you sort of have to clear your mind of that whenever you go out, fresh time, fresh course, fresh horse. But
do you take yourself back to the Toy Town? And, we're heading to a European Championships on home soil in 2 weeks' time at Blenheim. And I just can't believe it's 20 years since you bagged that European Championship. 20 years?
20 years ago. It's incredible.
What were you, 12?
I wish. What was I? 24.
Yeah, amazing.
I was 24. So I went round Burghley at 22. So a couple of years before I'd come, my first Burghley, still had roads and tracks and steeplechase. It was the last year they did that. So a different competition to what it is now and how you see it now. It's very much more technical now, and you have to adjust the way you're riding. We have to ride probably faster and, slower at the same time. Our horses have to be way more adjustable. It's not all about the stamina anymore. But stamina in a different way, way more technical angles, and the course designers are continuously having to up their game because everyone learns how to do it, and then they've got to build something else to try and make it more tricky,
of a challenge.
It was very different back then. God.
And when you look back, I mean, if we had a 22-year-old coming here this year and finishing second, I mean, It's extraordinary. Are you grateful for the sport, that it's given you your own identity, that no one can say to you, you were handed that because you've earned it, you're talented, you're brilliant, you've worked for it. You don't come and finish second at Burghley for any other reason than you're really good and you've got a great horse.
And a great horse. It's definitely about the horse. I think, it is an incredible sport like that. There's no way you can get away with anything out there. It is 100% hard work, partnership. And if that is not working, then you aren't going to get round. It is literally, it's above and beyond, it's the top of what we do. And it really is the biggest challenge. And you can't get through it without the hard work. I'm so grateful for the sport and giving me an amazing career, but also an amazing family and friends. I mean, we go through good times and bad times together, everyone in this sport, and it is the most incredible community. It really is.
It is, and it's international, isn't it? Great Britain has the best platform in the world for our sport. We get the opportunity to come to these incredible parks. Burghley, we're talking 500 years of history here in this park. And when you go up Winners Avenue and you look how this great event that's been run here since 1961 is so entwined in the fabric of this great estate. And when you get really iconic British brands like Defender and Musto really tapping into that, it's such a quintessentially British, only Great Britain could do something like this.
Yeah, I think we are great at events and sporting events, especially. It is. We are so lucky to be here, and they are very invested in our sport. You can just see from the track, they cordon off the track for the whole year, so that is solely for these horses to run on one time of the year, and it is incredible. I mean, it's professional sport. We're very lucky. It's like going to Twickenham or Wembley. That turf is for those horses, and it's really important, especially as the sport has developed over the years. Burghley has grown with the sport, and seen how they need to make the changes, and it is phenomenal, and people want to come and run their horses here.
Yeah, and I keep going back to the brand, but when you look at detail here on Musto, and you look at the detail of Burghley, what they do, they're so ahead of their time in terms of focusing on the horse welfare. Footing is so paramount in terms of the welfare of the horse, and when you look back at what the infrastructure they put in to make this course like it is, and we've had such an unseasonably dry summer, and you walk out, you see this green strip that runs through the park, and that's because the infrastructure was put in so many years ago to put that watering in to make sure that the footing's absolutely perfect.
Yeah, and it's it's obviously a beautiful place to be. We're so lucky to be able to walk around here. Obviously, the shopping is great.
Yeah.
You're in the best place right here, Musto. But yeah, it's phenomenal. It's such amazing. It's unique, isn't it? Everyone gets to go, right, I'm going to Burghley for the week or even a day to be able to experience, this kind of shopping, hospitality, and be able to watch world-class sport is phenomenal.
Yeah. And you talked about great sporting events, and we're going to have to wrap it up in a minute, but we got to quickly, while I've got you, talk about the greatest sporting event that this country's ever hosted, the London Olympics, where you secured a silver medal with your teammates. Just thinking about, just looking back on those days, because, you, with your 3 kids, and as you come towards the twilight of your career, because you might have another 10 years, but it's, oh
God. Suddenly sounds like a long time.
I didn't want to start announcing your retirement on this Musto stand at Burghley. But when we look back through, surely London 2012 is one of the greatest highlights.
And it was so important for sport in this country, for our sport. Having everything so accessible, we were able to be a part of the Olympics, and a lot of places, the equestrian and some sports are way far away, and never get a look in. So people came to London who'd never been eventing before in their life. So it was a great spectacle. We had great fun, great team. It was very important for for us, and to be I'm excited for these guys coming up to Blenheim actually in the next couple of weeks. Being on home turf was just the best thing in the world, and being at home Olympics, being at home Europeans, it really makes a difference. You feel that kind of confidence. You've got your country is with you. It's like it's got your back, and I'm excited for them at Blenheim actually.
Yeah, and if you haven't got your tickets and you're here, do go to Blenheim, because it's going to be an incredible weekend of sport, and we've got a massive chance of securing some big medals. So it's going to be so much fun. We'll all be there cheering them on. But that wall of sound when you're at a home games where you are galloping around the cross country, it's just beyond anything.
It was so loud. We couldn't hear our watches. We have a stopwatch on so we kind of know where we are around the course and make sure we're on time, and it beeps at you every minute, and it was so loud you couldn't hear the beeping on your watch, so you're like like, am I on time? And the crowd was like all the way around the course. It was like this sort of sea of people, but they were so close up to the string, and also much less space in Greenwich, so the track was a bit narrow. So if you were like trying to like knife your corners, apex your corners, there was like people hanging over the side, and they would get like a foot in their face or a like tail, and you know it was an incredible place to ride, and just phenomenal. I know a lot of people said to me that you knew, all people who were riding there as well, you knew when a Brit was on the course, because it just the noise kind of went ooh.
And Zed, looking at this competition, and we're looking at, you know, an incredible lineup, one of the highest rated lineups we've had in 10 years. We've got Oliver in pole position at the moment, as he was at Badminton. He lost it to Roz, who sits in second place. That head-to-head is going again. You know Oliver better than anyone. I don't imagine he's going to let that lead go too easily.
No, absolutely not. I mean, he's one of the most competitive riders that I know in the circuit, and he loves to win. You know, he thinks a lot of this horse, and she has been incredible for him from a young age. So he will be out to take this title, absolutely, 100%. Roz is on her old mate, who she's won Olympic medals, world medal. Is she world champion? No, she's European champion. Yeah. She's done everything with him, and he is just the ultimate professional. She is also pregnant, so he'll be carrying a little bit more weight than he normally does. She doesn't weigh much anyway, so he just runs around with her. So yeah, that's the head-to-head. We were going through it with William last night, weren't we? Like, how many combinations actually from now could win? I mean, so down to even to 13th place is on 29.8, which is an amazing score, but she's in 13th. So there's so many people actually who could win. Like Austin O'Connor, his horse is very quick, jumps double clear. He's got a great chance. There's lots of people there who actually could, you know, challenge. If anything, if the head-to-head goes south and something happens either way, there's plenty of people snapping at their heels and ready to take it.
And for all our lovely guys here, you've had a good look around the course. We're on the Defender course drive.
Yeah, if you haven't, go and have a look at some of the fences.
Where would you say to guys to go? Where would be the fences? Like, we've got the cross country starts at 11:30. You've got time. I know the shopping's great, but where would you go to just get that wow factor of Burghley and have a real look at the fences?
So luckily you've got Defender Valley right here.
Yeah,
that's iconic.
Oh, so you could just get a coffee and sit there.
Yeah. You got the Leaf Pit, which is at the end of the course now. I mean, just go and have a look at the nemesis. Bank. We drop off. Yeah, only with that one horse.
Okay.
You've got the Trout Hatchery, which is your water jump, which everyone loves to go and see. It's late on in the course this year, so there's going to be possibly some tired horses. People are going to have to make different decisions depending on how their horse is feeling. If you walk, you have to do a bit of walking, but go all the way up to the Dairy Mound. That's an early combination this year, and there's a very tricky combination, a sort of blind corner. The horses aren't really going to read it. It's early. They're going to be fighting and fresh. That will be an interesting place to watch. You'll get a real idea of the terrain if you walk out there, and it's like a roller coaster. There's, hills and bumps, the cambers against you. The fences are placed in positions where you're not, jumping off a flat ground. So you're on your game all the time, all the way until you get home. And if you're having a lovely time and going, oh, isn't this nice? You're not going fast enough, or you're, something's gone wrong and you're just hacking home. You need to be going, this oh my God,
horrible.
This is horrible. And I just want to get home and get it done. And, make sure that you bring your horse home and, and together that is your main aim. But it's going to be tough.
Okay. Now, we've got just 5 minutes. Zara's agreed to answer questions. Has anybody got any questions?
Uh-oh.
No? Oh.
Oh, yay.
Yay. Oh, yes. Do you have a favourite horse?
I mean, Toy Town was obviously my my horse of a lifetime, and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him today. He was an absolute incredible character. He loved his job. He was the ultimate professional, and if he was stood here today, he would think that all of you are here for him anyway. So he just loved a crowd, which is great at these big competitions and championships. He was very special.
Any other questions? Oh my God! Oh yes.
There's Milo and Cutty.
Oh, that's a good one. If you could choose to ride any of today's horses, which would you pick? I think I know.
Ooh, who would you say?
Lordship Scruffalo.
Yeah. So, definitely Lordship Scruffalo. He is the ultimate professional, and he's just an incredible cross-country horse. You would definitely be feeling incredibly confident going out on him. He knows what he's doing. They know each other so well. What about
I love Katie McGee's
a wild
horse.
Card, yeah.
I think Katie McGee. So we've got a great friend in Nicola Wilson, former European champion, who obviously had a catastrophic fall at badminton, and she switched to coaching. And we were having dinner with her last night, and she said, I don't miss the riding because she's really invested in the coaching. And Zara, you talk about systems, the support you have around you with Musto as a brand that you have confidence in. Katie McGee now has a trainer in Nicola Wilson who's put her system into Katie, and she's clearly got the talent, she's got the horses, but the difference that Nicola's made in her, that's meant she's now the British Open champion, she's the intermediate champion, she had top 10 at badminton, she's in the top 10 at the moment in the dressage, just sitting outside. And I think it's so interesting how that marginal gain that Nicola has put into just tweaking a few things has made Katie suddenly absolutely improve about 2 stone.
Yeah, incredible. She's done an amazing job, and Nicola's so professional and knows exactly what she's talking about, and giving that confidence to someone who's already got the ability, but as you said, just tweaking a few things, making small adjustments to already very capable, and it makes such a difference. And she has a great cross-country horse, so she is definitely one to look at. Who's, is she her debut at 43 years old?
I think it is her debut at Burghley at 43 years old, but I think she's a really interesting story in terms of what these top guys do differently, and if you can tap into that, what difference it can make. And
it's just a different mindset, isn't it? It's you can be really, really talented, but your mindset also has to be in the right place, and it just takes a different...
Do you know, that's something I would say about you that maybe you guys wouldn't know, but Zara in a team situation is quite extraordinary. You have an extraordinary ability to suck up pressure. Would you agree? Can you recognise that in yourself?
Yeah, but I also, I was very lucky to have a good horse to be sat on, and High Kingdom as well. But I also enjoy that situation. I love riding on a team. I love the whole dynamic of it. And, your best performance is obviously going to make the team in a much better place. And I loved it. Yeah, I loved riding for my country. I loved championships.
But
it's I had
interesting.
Good teammates.
But you get
Big Will to learn
the reality
from,
check?
who's literally horizontal, So
But
you had to just get on with it.
I think it's interesting though, because that's what you're talking about is just loving being in a pressure situation rather than letting pressure be a monkey on your back. That's something you absolutely had. And when we look at you at the World Games in Normandy, or we look at all sorts of different times where you just literally deliver.
But I think also being in that situation is a privilege. Like if you've got it, you've got to own it and make it happen. And if it goes wrong, it goes wrong. But you have to make an effort to make it happen. You can't just go, I was there and then it happened. You need to make sure that you 100% deliver.
And I know that Musto 100% delivers for you. Oh, did you see how I sort of segued into that? Oh my God, hang on a minute.
Linguist.
Let's get back on brand. No, but we know that Musto does 100% deliver for you and for our industry. And it's really exciting next year, the launch of the new Countryside range, which I cannot wait to see coming out. I know you've got a huge amount of commitments. We've taken up an awful lot of your time. It's been so great chatting to all of you. I can't believe you didn't have more questions. What an opportunity. Oh, hang on. I think we might have a place. Zara, what is your favourite Musto item? I'm quite liking this new gilet that dropped yesterday.
Actually, can I say I'll walk away with this one. So my favourite, I do love the Fairfax and Musto collab, the short jacket that I was actually wearing this morning. I also have always had like a Sardinian long range jacket, which has been in my wardrobe for a long time. And the great thing about it is they keep their amazing jackets and they just tweak them, in the right places, year on year. So
they sort of develop and evolve.
But keeping the main, why the product worked in the first place.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. Okay, well, I think that we'll say good luck to all our competitors this afternoon. Enjoy, get out there. It's going to be an amazing afternoon of competition. There's screens all around the site, so you should be able to see exactly all the action. But do, if you can, get out and walk the course. Zara, enjoy a more relaxed Saturday.
I'm so excited to watch.
And are you feeding back any info to any of the riders or any of that?
I might do.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they're pretty sorted in their system, everyone has their own way of doing it, and some will watch a few and then go and take themselves away. Some will watch every single person. The guys actually who go out early, it's quite a nice feeling because you can just get it done. Go out with your plan. You haven't seen how anyone else has done it. You go out with your plan and just get on with it. That's quite a nice feeling, actually, to not have to sit and watch other people do it. And the most important thing I would say to anyone is just you have to remember what you're sat on, your horse, your partnership. Your horse, so you do you, and that's the most important thing for them.
Okay, well, we always know that you do you. So thank you, Zara. Ladies and gentlemen, Zara Tindall.
Thank you. Enjoy.